Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be checking out the newest episode of The Ghost in the Shell, episode 8. I'm very excited after that last week's episode. That whole sequence with the merging with the puppet master and everything was so awesome. Very reminiscent of like the ending of the original Ghost in the Shell movie. I believe it is also the puppet master she merges with or something along those lines. So I'm very interested to see how it differs from the movie and just like the rest of these last 3 episodes we have left, because we have episode 8, and then we have 2 more episodes after this week, which, I'm gonna be sad to see this go. I'll be interested to know if they ever adapt the rest of his manga, because there is, I think, Ghost in the Shell 1.5 and then 2.0 or something, are 2 different, like, sequels he did at some points. Um, but other than that, I don't wanna waste too much more time and hop right into this week's episode. If you are new to my channel, this is more of a watch along than a straight up reaction. So if you'd like the audio and or full video, you can sync up with your own copy of the episode. If not, you can see it blurred behind me and read the subtitles below me. I will just give us a countdown. We can hop right into this episode. Three, two, one, start. All right, let's get it. Yeah, I'm interested if we follow up on last week's episode much, because I assume we have to with where we left the major. Might be like a flash forward in time or something, maybe. Oh, I got a fucking flashing light warning. And Saru. They have cooked with this adaptation, by the way. I've personally loved it. Start project. Is this like the major waking up? May 23rd. Hello. Very interesting. I wonder if there's any important information in any of this booting up sequence. You've passed the test. Oh, maybe this is not the major. Thought maybe it was them waking her up after copies of myself. Oh, that is a darker way to look at it. Oh, that shot of just looking up and seeing like the person controlling the whole operation is cool. An ideal for system interesting. Oh, so it just has access to like most things. I mean, the brain is just electricity in a sense. This music is incredible, by the way. Conscious state within the puppet master thing. I I also was not paying attention to see if the subtitles were good or not during that sequence. I hope so. I'll double check when we get to the next part. If so, I do apologize for that. I've also, me personally, there's actually some anime I'm kind of sad I'm not watching at the moment, but everything I have been watching has been so incredible. Like, I've been loving One Piece as always, that will, like, never change, but get this Bleach adaptation that we're getting is incredible. I think this might be my favorite version of, like, I might like some of the aspects of the original movie a little bit more, but I think the actual characters themselves and even kind of the story, I find more engaging in this version of Ghost in the Shell. I was very interested to know how I was gonna feel going into it. I was excited. knowing it was more manga accurate, but that doesn't always necessarily mean it's better. It's just tends to be more true to the original author's vision. But there's a real charm of this series, and I think it might just be because how like old of a manga it is. Eh, get it. Dude, I'm loving the visuals these past couple episodes. They've been incredible all season, but all the is that just kanji or was it a different one or different language sorts? Oh, Jesus. So they just need an outcome one way or another. They can't just leave it. This was a bit jump forward in time of the first when we got this episode, right? That will make you think of anything. Oh, is that how he's very interesting. What a great chart. Also, that and then going through everything we've seen. God damn. Um, Jesus, Major distracted my thoughts. But that waitress's design I really enjoyed. Oh shit. Oh god, that's actually kind of disturbing to see your body from like that. I guess it's different from I imagine a robot's perspective, but seeing it like that is freaky. Or an upgrade. Past that is a not you. I really love this show in the way it showcases like the difference of like humans and robots, but also like what does it mean to be a human through the robots. Dude, the way they like go through the like face is so fucking cool. Whoa. Genius. I am a ghost. Interesting. Okay. So we were back in the past and catching up. Yeah, that's what I assumed was happening, but picking up where we left off in her merging slash Just having, like, this transcendent experience. The fucking OST as well. So now that's her waking up, I think. That's what I thought we were gonna get at the start of the episode. Oh. Like she's in an empty void. No matter what, they continue to be a bunch of goobers. God. I can't imagine the major's gonna be the same after this, though. Bro's really pulling up. For health reasons. Oh man, there's some great shots in this episode. And those aren't very interesting. But I'm glad I was we are continuing immediately after the last storyline because I feel like it would have been weird to just immediately skip ahead. Program. I have a feeling, in an essence, Makoto is the puppet master now. Wow, that cut just to actual reality. Their perspectives on this is very different. Drama queen. But she is right though. That would be a big moment. Oh, I really appreciate that the show could actually keep the comedy like always there in the background, but build up so much of like the emotional stakes and intrigue and everything, and never have it take away from either part. Here in Poseidon Industrial, Japanese foreign miss trade delegation representative, post world, post war world. The fucking like mechanical or techno pyramid is very interesting. Follows the shape of it reminds me of Dragon Ball Foreign Tower. God, that fucking face he made. Yeah, it's fucking birds over there. You waving down. Depend. Ah, I wouldn't be surprised if they had something going on in the background, though. No matter what. Oh, that's true. Maybe that. Oh, he did do something. Drugs and weapons, huh? Aren't in force. Just piece the fuck out in the middle of the conversation. I'm actually surprised we haven't focused a little bit more on like the backlash of everything that happened with the major. Second absolute key shot of the major this episode. I ain't not complaining though. Anonymous tip. Yeah, I guess in a sense it would be scary for anyone, no matter what. Is this the her name Handler? I forget what they called her. Interesting. Maybe we will be focusing a little bit on the backlash. It seemed like something was wrong. Oh, just always like living in her mind, or they did fully merge and fuse together. I've really enjoyed the music this episode as well. Been some nice tracks. Whoa, it's like a fucking whale submarine or something. The way it was moving. Uh, rolling up with the spy gear. 537. Oh, that's us. That makes more sense. Dude, these outfits are something else, by the way. I don't think I mentioned it yet, but, quite the design. Dude, what is this song? Fucking silent. Really doing a full-on stealth mission this time. Dude, I feel like the action is always goes so hard in this show, and it's like, whoa. Oh. The feathers reminded me of the Puppet Master for a second there. Jesus. I think the Puppet Master is in her head, or at least is messing with her perception a little bit. Radio can trade. Whoa. The way the Major was just looking around looked like she just like woke up. Oh, this old guy. They did say newly appointed. Internal affairs. Internal affairs Mike thinks that Major might be getting in some shit or something. And kicked off the case, maybe. Oh, and it looks like the Major's back, like, out of it again. 3-3. Damn. Well, fuck. Who put this out there? Was it? Oh, fuck. Oh my god, these episodes have been so good. The last few, because I love the like first half or so of this series. There was some really fantastic episodes in there. Felt a little bit more like disconnected, I would say. Whereas I feel like the last couple not only made a lot of those first episodes feel more connected, it feels like we're just like going nonstop. Like the last three, or yeah, including this episode, the last three episodes have just been incredible. Um, because the one with like the Major's like boyfriend and everything, that whole sequence, and on us like catching that guy, it was really fucking good and was one of my favorite episodes. And then immediately after, we got everything last week, which was it might have even been I enjoyed a little bit more than this episode because that whole final sequence was incredible. But there was a lot of good stuff in this episode. Like the first half, it was split into two different sections, but they felt very connected. Um, I'm very worried what the outcome with the Major will be. Looks like we might either be going on the run or just having to deal with like public perception or something. I am wondering, like, because I figured at the end of the movie, I think she does get put back in a body. I think it's like a childlike body or something in the movie, and then she like essentially is just accessing like all the web and just like um uh oh, that is a fun artwork. Yeah, she just like has access to like all of the web and everything, and is almost like a supercomputer, um like god of like the internet and like everything. Very like conceptual ending. That was the right word I was looking for. But I kind of know what I mean. Whereas this, I don't know. I honestly can't imagine. Oh, what I was trying to watch. Um, I can't imagine with how like much personality and everything they've given to all these characters and like the way they presented a lot of these aspects. I don't see her just like up and leaving. I wonder if they managed to save her some way or like disconnect her, um, and separate her from the puppet master, or if she just learned how to deal with it. But it looked like we had intermission in this episode, and then the next like second half of the episode is called Brain Drain 1. So I wonder if the rest, like both like two final episodes, are going to be in line with that, or maybe just next episode will be a Brain Drain 2, and then we'll move on to something else for the final episode. I really don't know what to expect going forward and where do we leave off this series, because even like I mentioned at the beginning of this like video that like there is equal series, but I don't know if they follow any of the same characters or if it's just set in the same world or anything. I'm not sure they've ever been adapted into anything before. Um, they might be, and I just don't know. I'm not the biggest knowledge on the Ghost in the Shell. I've only ever watched the movie and then this series and seen like a couple manga panels and things like that. Um, I want to go back to the first time. I forget where exactly. I think it was when they were coming up into the sky, or maybe when they were first jumping in. It was when they first jumped into the water. I think she first like mentioned. Yeah, so we didn't actually. Doesn't look like we actually just saw something, but she's just like feels that presence. I really enjoyed that. Some fun. That whole the sequence of like the stealth up the entire ship and everything was also really fun. They're in some goofy ass outfits, I cannot lie. Um, but yeah, so seeing the Major like this is actually kind of sad. She seems like so out of it, and like I think it was yeah, like right here, she was like looking around and seemed very like active and confused for a second. So I think her mind is just like really just shuffled up. And it's interesting that sometimes it's like she's fine almost, or like mostly fine. Um, and then there it's like a switch got flipped almost. But this show has not been disappointing at all. I can't lie. I've been enjoying the hell out of like every single episode. And I think the back half of the series has been even better. Um, Although I kind of want to rewatch some of the first episodes because I remember immediately being hooked into this. Especially just with the characters. And now that we're getting a little bit more, I would say like dramatic with it in a sense. Um, and a little bit more like emotional, which we've had like some moments of that for sure. Um, but, like even her introspection here about like what even is a living being and everything. I also She also left us yeah, like there's something that she's not revealing yet, and I assume it's like just what she felt or what she saw in that moment. Also, this whole Poseidon thing, we haven't touched on Poseidon before. This is a new thing, right? I could be wrong, but very interesting. This whole like pyramid that's like almost looks like metal, and then with like the glass windows and everything is a really cool design. Um, and then at the start of this episode, I really enjoyed the like perspective we got. From like the puppet master and like his birth essential or their birth or not really gendered essentially. He's more of a whatever bodies that he's in essentially. Um, Very interesting because you almost don't blame the puppet master in a way with how like essentially their entire being and self was going to be written off and erased. Kind of a dark concept. Um, but I feel like this really draws in a lot of the earlier concepts of the show of like what it means to be a human, what is a ghost. And I like that the line about I am a ghost. And that's essentially means like they are like a soul. Like they are an actual being. Um at least that's kind of my interpretation of it. And all of that was just incredible stuff. I think actually also the start of this was fun to me because I assumed we were gonna be starting with like the major rebooting. And then when we started to actually see the faces of all these characters, I was like, I don't recognize them from any of our team. Then I started to question it, but very interesting to follow like that entire section. Oh yeah, also that shot of Puppet Master seeing their body from the outside and like being like incomplete with like no skin or anything is very creepy. And I really hope Major because like realistically the movie isn't like a super sad or depressing ending. It's just a little bit more like bittersweet in a way. I hope the Major and the whole squad gets a very happy ending. Because I've really grown to love these characters. Also, some great. It's always like I was making fun of the like stealth outfits a little bit because they're a little goofy, but the actual like clothing design and like character design is always so cool. Like that. There was that like waitress, which I don't think we saw her before. I think that was a new character design. Um, I really loved that. And like the Major's outfit here is really cute. I love any show that will switch the characters like outfits around. It gives so much more personality and character to everyone. Um, that's something I've really appreciated throughout the whole show. Like, I feel like we've seen like him in this shirt a couple times, but he's also been in different clothes and whatnot. That's something I do enjoy as well. Very not relevant to the episode itself, but something I did take note of in this week's episode. Also, is this the? Yeah, this is also the fucking double cheeked up Major right there. Um, Actually, it happened twice in this episode. I think the one was from an earlier shot in the season. We were doing the flashback, but caught me off guard a little bit there. Yeah, but Bado especially with like the head covering, to like stop like it's like a wetsuit essentially. It looks extra goofy. Does not fit his design at all, but I kind of love seeing it. And yeah, I love this action sequence. I'm just so fascinated to know where we left off. Because there is a lot of similarities to other stuff I know from the movie and whatnot, but it's very its own unique version of the story. Um, I'm so glad I decided to check this out because I was a little bit like, I might not because I've never like I think I've seen like maybe one or two episodes of Standalone Complex or something like that, but I've realistically only seen like the Ghost in Shell movie and then Innocence. Um, and other than that, I've never been like obsessed with it. Like I absolutely loved the movie the first time I watched it, but it was never like, oh, I need to go all in on this series. But it's one I definitely am glad I picked up to watch with you guys. Not only is it just like really fun and I've like been having a ton of fun, the community around it has been quite enjoyable too. It's not like my best performing series I've ever had on my channel, but it's in that middle ground where like I feel like there's constantly people checking in. Every once in a while we get to have a little bit of a conversation in the comments and everything, and that's kind of my ideal world with making these videos. I like rather than just having like a ton of views, because sometimes like I'll get a lot of views on a video and just like no one engages with it, it feels like. I would much rather just have like a couple people who fully enjoyed, watched along with me, hearing their thoughts, theories, and whatnot, or Um, if you're like, especially if you're like a manga reader or ever know like the source material of the series, I also love getting that perspective as long as you're not giving me spoilers, which, I mean, this is a very much older series and I kind of know some things to come. So it's not like a biggest deal ever if I get a little bit of a spoiler here and there, but um I'm very intrigued to see where we leave off this season. And I kind of hope, although I don't know like the reception to his sequel series, because sometimes they don't. I guess series getting like additional content just never hits the same as like the original. Um but I'm very fascinated fascinated if they decide to adapt the rest of that as well with how faithful they've been to his series. I wouldn't be surprised, especially because I think those are even shorter than this series, so they could maybe do a movie or like a special episode or something, I'm sure. Um, but yeah, other than that, I will catch you guys all later. I will have my other watch alongs and things coming out throughout the week. You can just check out all my playlists and whatnot, or just look past the past week and you can see all the shows I'm watching on my channel. But I'll catch you guys all later, and peace.